Bonsoir tout le monde. Tonight we are going to learn a new irregular verb. It's called avoir, avoir, and it is the verb to have. You've seen it already in Chapter 4 vocabulary. You've seen it used in context and sentences, and now we're going to learn how to conjugate it, just like we did with être. Remember être, where every verb part was different for each subject? Avoir is going to be the same thing because it's irregular. So we're going to start with je. And because avoir starts with a vowel, I have to drop the E from my je, replace it with an apostrophe. You remember? Those two-letter words in French that end in E, we have to lose the E and replace it with an apostrophe when they come before a vowel. So this first form, which means I have, is j'ai. The second form is tu as. You have. Il, elle, and on all take the same verb form, and it's a. Notice how this a and this a sound the same, but they're spelled differently. Il a, he has. Elle a, she has. And on a, we have or they have. That little N there is to tell you you have a liaison, a connection between this consonant sound and this vowel sound. On a. On the plural side, for nous, we have avant. And you'll see patterns starting to form with the more verbs that you learn. You'll see more patterns. ONS is our ending for regular ER verbs. Nous avons means we have. The vous form is avez. And again, this EZ ending here is the same as the EZ ending for the vous form in regular ER verbs. So just watch for those patterns. It makes things easier. Vous avez means you have in the plural, or when you're being polite. And the last one for il and elle, plural, is on. They have masculine, and they have feminine. And again, I have this little Z here to remind me of a necessary liaison that I have to make with the S and the vowel. Nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. So let's take a look again. The verb avoir is irregular. It means to have. The infinitive, or the name of the verb, is avoir. Its conjugated forms in the present tense are j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a. Those are the singular forms. Nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. J'ai, I have. Tu as, you have. Il a, he has. Elle a, she has. On a, we have or they have. Nous avons, we have. Vous avez, you have, plural or formal. Ils ont, they have, masculine. And elles ont, they have, feminine. All right? Hopefully you've written all that down in your notebook, along with what it means in English. If not, you can pause the video and rewind and go over it again so you can make sure you write everything down in your notes. All right, we also use the verb avoir to express age in French. In English, we use the verb to be, which would be être. You say, I am 13 years old. But in French, you say, I have 13 years. So we're going to use the verb avoir to express how old we are. So the question, tu as quel âge? Asks, you have what age? This is how you ask someone, how old are you? Go ahead and write down that example and then write the English in. You have what age? Or in English, we would normally say, how old are you? To answer the question, moi, you know that means me. J'ai 14 ans. I have 14 years. This word en means years, and you need it. You need it when you use avoir to say how many years you have. J'ai 14 ans. I have 14 years. In English, we would say I am 14. But in French, we say I have 14 years. Make sure you write down what it means in English. Now, we've learned about this expression before, il y a. We use il y a all the time in French. It's so easy. It can be singular. It can also be plural. And it means there is or there are. This a in il y a is actually the verb avoir for il. Il y a means there is or there are. And when you're asking a question with il y a, you can answer it with il y a. Il y a un jardin autour de la maison. Do you remember what autour de means? It means around. There is a garden or a yard around the house. There is a garden or there is a yard around the house. Write down the English as well as the French. And in the negative, this is what il y a looks like. Il n'y a pas. And don't forget the de. Il n'y a pas de fleurs dans le jardin. There aren't any flowers in the garden or the yard. There aren't any. Il n'y a pas de fleurs dans le jardin. Flowers in the garden. Okay. If you need to, remember you can go back and listen to the video again. Make sure you write all the notes in your notebook. You're going to need them to do page 35 in your packet tonight. And when we get in tomorrow, we'll have a little entrance quiz to make sure everybody watched the video. Bonne soirée, mes amis. Au revoir.